what happens when scenes become popular? Usually Hollywood gets involved.
Yeah.
And Hollywood and video games do not mix.
Not necessarily. I feel like there's been some success, but I mean, there's some decent movie-based games. There's some terrible ones, and then there's some really good ones. There's a couple of really good ones.
Yeah, I mean, when a game is based off a movie, it's it's hit and miss. But when a movie's based off a game, forget about it. I mean, it's the three of the biggest franchises in the 90s: Super Mario Brothers, Street Fighter franchise, and Mortal Kombat.
Fail.
Mario and Street Fighter, I'll be honest, I think as movies, they're good movies.
Sure.
But not based on the subject matter.
Well, yeah, because I actually recently watched the Super Mario Brothers, and it there's a lot of it that doesn't add up now.
No.
And they didn't really follow the game like you thought they would have.
No.
Like did the whole thing about Koopa, and there's these guys with little heads, and for some reason there's dinosaurs, and then there's time travel and dimensional. It's like, no, dude, I wanted to see John Leguizamo jump up and hit his head on a question mark block, eat a mushroom, get 10 times bigger, and then go stomp on some Koopas.
That's right.
It was nothing like that.
It needed to be animated, not live action, or at least motion capture.
I've read some horror stories about that movie, how the script changed 6 times, and
I think Dennis Hopper was only supposed to work on it for 3 weeks and ended up working 16.
Yeah,
Same thing with Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo admitted to drinking and or being intoxicated on the set and during parts of the film.
I think that's the only way they could have got through it.
Dude, I mean, I was so excited about that one. And there was this one's okay. Well, we've got this on the list, but I think it's important to recognize there was a game that was about video gaming, or excuse me, a movie about video gaming. The Wizard. The Wizard.
That was the 3-hour commercial for Nintendo.
Right, and it previewed Mario 3, and that's one of the reasons why people were so excited to see it. Like kids like my age, because hey, dude, new Mario, we gotta see what's going on with this. But yeah, it was an absolute abomination. They were trying to press the Power Glove. The Power Glove sucks.
Nobody likes the Power Glove. Nobody
Power
wants the Power
Glove. The dude is like, yeah, I got the Power Glove. I've got every Nintendo game ever made. I mean, it was just a big, huge endorsement for him.
Yeah, that's the origin story of Thanos. You know what? The Super Mario sucked, as we know. It was bad. It was wasted cast and everything you want to.
They tried, but they failed.
Street Fighter was better, I think, because it kept everything in that. And you know what?
They did great on casting. Raul Julia as M. Bison.
Definitely.
Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile. I mean, come on. And just those two alone.
Yeah, I think those two are absolutely perfect.
Casting director deserves a freaking award for that.
The guy who played Zangief was fantastic.
Yep. Everybody was spot on.
Just the problem was it was too generic of a plot as a movie, and the script wasn't great. The story was good. The script wasn't. Raul Julia did a great performance when he was doing serious, but when he was over the top, it was even better.
Right.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and they made 2 sequels to that, didn't they? Oh my lord.
I mean, all those movies had exactly the same problems, right? The characters were weak. The cast was wasted. And I guess only in Street Fighter's case it was close enough to the source material that it was just an adaptation in name only, not game only. I mean, because you couldn't look at the Mario Brothers movie and tell that was a Mario movie until you saw the 2 characters being called Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, and they had the costumes on, and you hear the boing. All the little they'd splice in little effects everywhere. Yeah.
It just couldn't work.
And then he put on boots that made him fly for some reason. I don't know. It's like they did a bunch of psychedelics and then decided to go film that thing, I swear.
And they were expecting a sequel to be made. If the last scene is anything to go by, they were expecting a sequel to be made. Video game movies really just don't click. I mean, we've had things like Warcraft come out. We've had Tomb Raider, I think, was the most successful franchise, but according to Rotten Tomatoes, only one movie has got a higher than 5 out of 10 rating, and that was Rampage that was released last year.
Rampage was a fun game. It got a little monotonous after a while, but
it did. I mean, but now most of these video game movies are seen as so bad that it's good. Army of Darkness, bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you know what? I'll Mario Brothers. I'll probably go watch it tonight because I liked it.
I mean, yeah, it was for what it's worth. It was a good movie. Although if you just watch the movie knowing nothing about the game, yeah, it's a fine movie. But it's like reading your favorite book and then going and seeing the movie. Like, no matter how well done the movie is, no matter how well written the book is, your idea in your head is going to be much different than perhaps the person that put the film or book together. So
that's true. I mean,
keep that in mind.
And I could go on about the Hunger Games, which is one of my favorite adaptations. Because
Lord of the Rings.
I can't remember her name. Miss Collins, who wrote the books. My apologies for not remembering her first name. She actually wrote. She was a consultant on the script for the first Hunger Games movie, which is why it was as close to the book as it could be, but she even admitted that the parts she pulled out were filler.